Saturday. In the eastern clearing at this home of Queen's, Arden pasture gives way to a procrastination of writers who leave the torture of wrenching words from their busy minds so that they slip effortlessly into the reader's consciousness to tell tales of avoiding writer's block, oversharing, meeting deadlines, putting off inspiration, removing the fear of not being good enough, and the beauty and purity of keeping a notebook empty. Among the counterparts, they raise a tent of marquee proportions with crimson chairs. Within, crimson chairs roost amongst the uncut grass. Green blades twist themselves around the legs to keep us here. Silence broken by the hushed conversation of low-flying planes. So we open our scene of literary life with Astley's radical Dempsters and a home moated and crenellated, the fortified fortress that nestles across the paddock. Once a lost memory, now a restored regeneration with the promise of toilets, timeless but clean. Then onto a dark river with the promise of poems and music and films, to Caroline Chataway from New York to Bedford, stealing minutes to draw life from every morsel of potential, writing plays among diapers, stirrings from the immigrant dream. Then John Holmes, the boy from Nuneaton who grew up to be an idiot, an idiot genius, a mighty molehill of mirth wrapped in sexual desire. As the discussion turned gothic, the spiders came crawling, creeping up arms, looking for flesh in this spooky old mansion of shape-shifting tooth fairies, then laid down on plain speaking paper, a warm and a welcome, so readers are not strangers. Then came the rain. The plains turned to thunder, the more the rain came, rolling down canvas, dripping down damp, floods out conversation, so huddled words settle for the romance of Rosie, who fosters our attention with her hooks and her tales, creating drama in the heat of the storm, till she gives over to the rite of rain. Rain, rain, did I mention the rain? Regrouping to beat the sound, the surround sound of thunder, holding back bold text from declaring their selfies. We sit through the pestilence, locusts and frogs, till the sun breaks with a silence, which we fill with laughter. Of Vanessa, a sculptor, avoiding the syndrome of imposters as she shapes and moulds Britain in bloom. Liz, a sadict, whose staring courses make cry, as she weaves characters into her situations, declaring Russell T. Davies to be her type of man. Then came the rain, try not to mention the rain, rapid and raucous bolts from the grey. Stephen Jackson, who is off his trolley, won't be silenced. He stands tall, opens his mouth wide. Brandon as preneurs, invoking the zeitgeist. He shouts at the thunder whilst the dog curses the rain, shaking the earth so the squirrels all hate him. For alas, he can't hold back the thunder or settle the storm. So I drive home in the sunshine, lanes of warm waysides, rich hedgerows surrounding fields of wheat, my head full of magic, inspiration and mirth, mixed in with thunder and occasional shouts. That's yesterday. Today, Sunday. There was a little to report overnight. There was some drama, but I heard someone say it was much ado about nothing. Although my shoes do seem to have developed some form of rising damp. So we return in the sun to the heritage cakes and bacon rolls, and the air is adrift of the pure tones of Camellia Staples. The perfectionist fashionista painting dresses as gardens, holding breaths in the soul of American towns. Tom Harrison's Bedworth voice hiding the truth in his letters from trenches, where it's like war and damp, but what, he's in the pink, sending a kiss for effort. Roy McFarlane, who likes to be highly commended, jazzed up the tent with his words on family, growing up, learning his identity, and the sensual experience of watching the putting on of tights. Poets and composers with their verses on Abbey and the Pit, to the adultery of poetry and finding new skin, with the erotic dreams of Rebecca Brooks. We need to cool down. The criminal boss or his father Philip, casting a plot for the darkest of nights, to steal Shakespeare from Stratford to mount in a garden, completing the abbey of literary delights. Elaine talked in verse of oodle-cocks and chip-loving gulls, her grandfather listing her wants and wishes, then sun-rhyming, trying not to over-urinate. She hands over seamlessly to Maggie, savouring each ounce of time from birth to death and all in between. From a pink garden chair she hears didgeridoos and ponders making tea for George Eliot. Tea, that reminds me, it's time for cakes. Heritage cakes, Coventry God cake, made in heaven, Mill on the Floss tart, syllable plum cake. The world eats, pours coffee and curry, belly food that sets us off for the afternoons when the planes return, and I hope they don't turn to thunder. Did I mention the rain? Sheila talked of Mary Dorling Harris making sparrow pies, remembering Auntie Gardner who was too old she could not remember Astley for Longley, Corley, the corners of this insignificant planet. The open mic was an open marriage where the mic had gone off to another gig. But all open mics are like that these days. Poets' voices are loud enough. Roy whoops up the audience, pulling out the passion from open minds. Aaliyah, her mother's favourite flower, the baby bones of joy. Gary with Thunderbird's harmonica and an alcoholic's kiss. Aginda tumbled and played with words to dance in the breeze. Christine Wan reads Virtues of Warwickshire Girls, Higham Girls, Astley Girls, Girls from Hinkley, Chapel End, left me wondering, how do I get to Stockingford? Christine too laments the missing changing views on narrowboats in the silence of listening to the rain dancing in the trees, rocking to sleep, rocking gently to sleep. Richard talks of science, stardust of human, dolphin and mutual respect. Julie eclipses, sighting the moon, hiding the sun silently. Janice of some ponies and buzzards of Paulie fighting motorway tunes. Camellia returns in a silent disco and the tongue of dreams. Viv with childless sonnets of Mary Ann. Brothers and sisters devoted. Christine Wan returns to read Shakespeare in the original accent. Christine Wan is ordered to read Shakespeare in the original accent. She leaves and returns with her 400-year-old voice that she keeps in a bag. After drifting to Staffordshire and a pass through Tamworth, Roy gives us his recipe for ackee as a metaphor for love. To Amsterdam, where there are bikes everywhere. Everywhere. And we can't end the day without a mention from our sponsor, who watched the proceedings from a place on the stage. George, your unflinching expression as we dabbled with nostalgia, poetry, romance of diapers, sexual desire, and fighting the rain. Us, the Lindry Wanderers, return to our garrets, sharpened pencils and curious minds, as Viv, John and Alison, you would do that too, as Viv, John and Alison sigh with relief, pack up the tents, the chairs, sign off the web strike, post the last tweet, return the pasture to now more cultured cows, and over a glass of favourite red begin to plan next year, and someone mentions that maybe next year we should cancel the rain.
Wow, that was fantastic. What a wonderful end. Actually, it isn't really the end because there is another event at 4:30.